Bwahahahahaha. My name is Amy too, and welcome back to the alphabet with Text Synth. I haven't done this for a long while, and Text Synth has updated drastically since last time I recorded, which unfortunately makes it a little bit more difficult to make videos of because it reduced its max quota for 30 minutes from 90 to 30. So yeah. But anyway, I've already got one prepared. K. Kerbalang, the most important workplace in Borneo. Our first stop is Kuching. Despite the rain, there's a little sunshine for the boat ride to Pontianak, a little over 100 kilometers south of Kuching. The boat ride is nice. We're surrounded by lowland and mangrove forests. What's a mangrove? Mangrove is a shrub or tree that grows in coastal saline or brackish water. It says salt-tolerant trees. Oh, it's these. Okay then. Mangrove forest. There's a kind of forest in between. Mangrove. What? Then evergreen rainforest. Then more mangrove. What is this? I'm reminded of a picture I took on our trip to Borneo last fall. And it's possible... Is Borneo a real place? Island in Asia. Yeah, it's a real place. Really random, though. Oh, look, they've got a type of monkey. I guess. Unless that's just there. Borneo last fall, and it's possible that the same image is showing on every boat ride we take on this trip. Unlikely. It's nice to see the sun again. My first encounter with a Borneo version of a Tic Tacs factory. Excuse me, what? You've probably heard of these. Probably not. Borneo's version is the Tinggi Kintang Munisi Tinggi. What the heck is this? Kin Akan 2. Guarantee that if I search this up, nothing is going to show up. Looks like there aren't many great searches for you. What is this? Cyrillic? The two top results are on a website that is Cyrillic in the address. Yeah, clearly this is meaningless. What happens if I try to translate this? Malay detected. High keen human star, high keen statement 2. Well, that is meaningless. Maybe I can put it into like the better translator, like deep L, and maybe it'll give a different result. It doesn't really detect it. I guess Malay isn't in its system. That's kind of sad. It's important because most buildings related to the SSS I found state secrets, sedation, secrecy, whatever, around Indonesia and Australia. In the past 2.5 years bore the Tic Tac image of a person eating, drinking, or just seemingly relaxing on Tic Tacs. What? This one's actually pretty well hidden. Though we came across it soon after entering the park. I enjoy watching new cultures work. New cultures? There is nowhere better to see a new culture work than Kuching. I doubt that. The people around here seem to be fairly laid back. Well, compared to Australia. Bailey doesn't do it for me, except for eating. And these are almost always well-maintained... These are almost always well-maintained public toilets. Like nearly all the place seem to be. All they place... What? It makes a difference that I have never even seen this thing before in all my 3 days and nights at Kuching. 3 days and 3 nights. Having a small but independent Asian entrepreneurial class that is also surprisingly willing to mop around the place has been one of the highlights of Kuching. Having a warm reception towards Malays, even when there's large room for suspicion. If they are more suspectful about Westerners, for example, should get bonus points. A well-kept public bathroom in a city? That was almost worth the 5-hour trek. Sunrise view of Kuching. All of the towns in Indonesia, it certainly has the best dawn today time of change. What? It's wonderful. Nearly complete meridian change, and humidity stays very high for another hour. Soon it will become humid. But by then it's time to get our bikes. Our tour of Borneo isn't just back riding through rainforests. After Pontianak, we spend an afternoon in an absolutely adorable town called Bako. Is that also an actual place? Bako Sushi. I'm not sure if this is what it's talking about. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually know what this is.
L.
Luther the Moderate. N-O-T-O-C. Luther the Moderate was the nickname of Martin Luther during the 30 Years' War, and during the first half of the 30 Years' War, from 1530, he used the sign of the cross, an emblem strongly associated with the Catholic Reformation. In his works, he usually pretended to stand in defense of the authority of the Pope. What is this? Though he wrote a letter critical of papal governance. When Francis I of France became the ruler of the majority of German lands in 1538, he forbade Catholics to worship Luther's doctrine. I'm sorry, but what? And his religious orders were disbanded by Frederick of Saxony. Luther's executioner and ally... Wait, what? Executioner and ally in the Augsburg interim during the second phase of the 30 Years' War in 1632. Wait a minute. What? Okay, whatever. Luther lost much of his political influence and was forced to remain in hiding. He died in 1546. Okay, he did. Okay, it wasn't bad enough to get his death year wrong. Okay, reform of the reformers. Under his leadership, reform of the church was achieved and new religious orders were formed for the first time. Franciscans, for example, while his idea of a distinctive two kingdoms point of view caused differences with many, including Johann Tetzel's indulgences controversy, and his very detailed depiction of the controversy was himself to figure again years later. He also established a policy of subsidizing art with his own books made during this period, such as Liber Sexus Nudoria Rationis, The Naked Body of Ration or Doctrine About Women, 1525? 24, I mean. What? Is this a real book? I don't know if I want to search it up. Okay. No, it did not match any documents. Incredible. These are probably not even real words. Okay, between the Reformation and Renaissance, changes of attitudes towards women's dress. What now? Marked dissenters and Bible and dangers to towns. Strict enforcement of the Augsburg interim, 1548. Beginning in 1545, the observant leader, Luther, suffered enormous stresses over what was seen as serious threats to the growth of his new Christian theology. Inspired largely by the conservative monk and anti-Lutheran Matthias Flacius, aristocratic nobles and religious conservatives assembled in... What is this? Assembled in the book-burning summit of the renowned Diet of Speyer. Oh yeah, it is a real thing. The interim documents, known as the Masterful whatever, secret treaty to call the Free Prince rulership and to call for a moratorium on matters relating to church doctrine, was signed again at Potsdam, 1545, even after Luther feared a worsening Orweiler nie Metzorgs resolution of the cities compared to the Catholic in a 1604 reading of O Ich okay. That doesn't look right here. Yeah, that was too non-language looking to be anything. I'm pretty sure that this does not mean anything, so yeah. Will to match how the dangers surpasses and threatens all provinces. This later role, despite having attended lectures in Paris during the Swiss summer of that year. Luth spurs quarrel since the Leipzig Acad the Faith and Gospel in succession through a detailed investigation into many issues until the Diet and Masterful ban. Its chief supporter, Ferdinand, put together false and banned missionaries, martyrs from publishing and ... What in the world was that?
M.
Okay, this is impossible to get a cohesive one for M, so I'm just going to read the thing that isn't cohesive. Methylene, an autosomal... Is this a real thing? Oh yeah, it is. An autosomal recessive inherited disease produced by toxin producing myrothecium virusum sensu stricto toxins 11-00402 G 001 toxins 11 blah, blah, blah. Okay, organ distribution of methalexin. What? Methalexin. White hexagons represent sample individuals. Black boxes represent the organs. Sequence type. Affected by such intoxication, tissue. Masteroids, externals, right. Masteroids, externals, right. SP, brain slushy, whatever that is. Forehead. Okay, partial incisor, whatever this is. Otorrhea. Nissos. Frontotemporal fascicle. What is this? What happens if I screw around with it more? Neci-domiciliary excretions of toxin 1 identified by sephenal extraction of MC from the selected excretions. Mass spectrometry after a liquid flow liquid chromatography for detailed conditions with ESI time of flight, or by ProGuard analyzer chemiluminescence amidology scanner. I'm done with this. I've been reading this garbage for too long anyway. M was too difficult to get anything, so I ended up reading that. Maybe N will be easier.
N.
Okay, we got some movie thing here. Nolan, who has starred in several indie movies like Gone Baby Gone and Daredevil. Is Gone Baby Gone a real movie? Yeah, it is. 2007. Two Boston area detectives investigate a little girl's kidnapping, which ultimately turns into crisis both professionally and personally. What? 82% like this film, Google users. Has gone on record as saying that he wants to play a superhero, and now he's ready to take on a new character and a new era. Nolan's upcoming projects are speculated to include projects like Justice League of America. Well then. While Batman may go on a different direction than what Nolan did with it, the Wachowski siblings are going to make a much more epic and spectacular Batman movie. At the 2008 CinemaCon, the Wachowskis shared details of a planned $50 million 3D movie called Jupiter Ascending, starring Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum. Unfortunately, the film was not released in the U.S. In addition, Speed Racer, are you kidding me? Director Wachowski, who is an executive producer on that movie, and he was going to produce Batman v Superman, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That picture isn't going to be Batman's official entry into the DC film universe, and Bruce Wayne saying when he teased a new Batman movie at CinemaCon, Batman is going to come out between Man of Steel 2 and Suicide Squad. What Batman's appearance will be in the new Man of Steel remains largely a mystery until production on that film begins in the fall. The next Man of Steel movie will be released in June 2015. Okay, this is just this doesn't go any like, you know, good funny stuff. Well, anyway, that's all I can do for this episode. I know it wasn't that great, but you know, I've reached the quota. But anyway, if you liked it, please subscribe. I couldn't do O, but will next time. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.